Real, new, now. This is Ozarks Fox News at 9.
And welcome to Ozarks Fox News at 9. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm John Adams.
And I'm Jennifer Abreu. Let's get right to our top headlines this evening. These stories are real, new, now. President Trump and the First Lady visited both Dayton and El Paso today, where more than 30 people lost their lives in separate mass shootings over the weekend. The president said he is open to discussing some gun control legislation, including background checks.
680 undocumented immigrants were arrested in Mississippi today as part of a raid by federal agents. The immigrants were working at 7 different processing plants across the state. The Department of Justice, Homeland Security, U.S. Customs and Immigration, and ICE were all involved in that operation.
The hunt may be over for 2 teens wanted for 3 murders in Canada. Authorities believe they have found the remains of 19-year-old Cam McLeod and 18-year-old Briar Schmigelski. The 2 were wanted for murdering 3 people, including 1 American, back in July.
Well, new at 9 tonight, as we heard Jamie say at the top of the show, we do have some rain moving in over the next few days.
And that ongoing rain is something that MoDOT has been keeping an eye on as they continue work on the Highway 65 rebuild project. And that's where we find our Jesse Inman to tell us about this next phase and how this rain is going to impact this project. Jesse.
Well, guys, tonight they actually just finished up phase 1 of this project, which runs southbound on Highway 65 from Sunshine to Battlefield here. And as they start phase 2 and look ahead to that rain, you know, that rain might actually save them a little bit of time.
We're looking at 12:01 on Thursday morning of switching over into phase 2.
Now that the repavement from Sunshine to Battlefield is done, phase 2 is ready to begin, which will run from Battlefield to Highway 65. MoDOT resident engineer Brad Gripka says the first aspect of phase 2 is breaking up and removing the current old pavement along that stretch over the weekend, right when the forecast calls for rain.
With weather, the weather doesn't really affect like the removals of the project. It kind of actually helps with the project.
Gripka says the ground beneath that old pavement needs to be smoothed over again, which is where the rain will come into play.
It helps kind of with the compaction of the road bed, because it kind of settles the dust, and then it helps us with the compaction of the subgrade.
That process would normally require water anyway.
They're not having to bring a water truck out here, you know, so it'll keep things moving forward.
And the oncoming rain won't slow down the prep for repavement either, which begins next week.
It shouldn't affect it that much unless we get like a 5-inch rain, but if it's a gentle rain, we'll keep on moving and keep all production going.
Now guys, once phase 2 begins, here are a few things that drivers need to know for that. Phase 2, again, starts at midnight tonight. That's when they'll switch traffic over at that time. Also, the southbound on-ramps at Sunshine and Battlefield will be closed, so you will not be able to get on southbound 65 from there. 1 lane of traffic will still be open going from Sunshine to Battlefield southbound during that time, but you're going to want to find an alternate route just so that you don't get stuck in that traffic jam going south on 65 until August 20th. And guys, August 20th, for people who use 65 as part of their daily commute, August 20th is a key date to remember. That's when they'll be done with phase 2, meaning they're halfway done with this thing. They'll take about a 14, maybe a couple week break to go for Labor Day, and they'll get back started on September 6th. During that break, both southbound and northbound lanes will be open, free to flow, so that people can drive that way. But once they get started again on September 6th, they'll move back going towards the north, and at that point, they'll look to get things done by September 20th on that part, and then just striping and sealing will be the finishing touches on that. In Springfield, Jesse Inman, Ozarks First.
All right, Jesse, thanks. Good reminder. Well, we have a follow-up on a crash from last night. 39-year-old Amy Blaine of Springfield is facing charges after reportedly causing multiple car accidents. Around 10 o'clock, Greene County deputies say they received multiple calls about a truck driving on the wrong side of the road near Highway 13 and Farm Road 102. A deputy says she tried to pull the truck over, but Blaine continued to drive erratically. The deputy was able to tag Blaine's truck with star chase and track her to Kansas Expressway and Grand, where investigators say Blaine crashed into another vehicle. Deputies say she crashed into a second vehicle near Kansas Expressway and Bennett. They say Blaine did not comply with authorities and they had to use a taser on her. She gave a blood sample, but her results have not been released yet.
It breaks my heart that this has to be in our consciousness on such a regular basis.
Well, with the recent shootings this past weekend in El Paso, Texas and Dayton, Ohio, more and more people are buying bulletproof backpacks and other bullet-resistant products for their children.
And we are seeing some talk about those products here locally. Our Madison Heaver tells us what some people, especially parents, are saying about these products. Madison.
Jen, the mass shootings on Saturday and early Sunday morning have gotten many people thinking about back to school and the potential for an active shooter situation. Many parents are buying these bullet-resistant backpacks that claim they would help protect a child from a shooter. I called around the Springfield area. Most businesses said they were either out or almost out of the backpacks or didn't sell them at all. There are some critiques of these products, though. One Lebanon teacher says these bulletproof products don't get to the root of the problem.
When I see people offering bulletproof backpacks, I'm like, oh my goodness, are we going to arm ourselves to the teeth and everybody walk around with body armor and guns, and that's how we're going to go to school, that's how we're going to shop, that's how we're going to go to concerts? I mean, how are we even free if this is how we're living our life? I understand why somebody might look for any kind of extra protection because you love your children more than anything.
Some people on our Facebook page said they would buy a bulletproof backpack for their child if they weren't so expensive. They sell for about $130.